The Trump administration says it is preparing to send federal election observers to California and New Jersey next month, targeting two states led by Democrats holding major off-year elections. Not Virginia, wonder why. Justice Department officials say the goal is to ensure transparency, but the monitors will be deployed in 5 heavily Latino counties across California, and in New Jersey, it will go to the county with the highest Latino population in the state, with 43%. State officials wasted no time sounding the alarm, with California Governor Gavin Newsom saying, quote, "This administration has made no secret of its goal to undermine free and fair elections. Deploying these federal forces appears to be an intimidation tactic meant for one thing: suppress the vote." And in New Jersey, State Attorney General Matt Platkin called the move, quote, "highly inappropriate," saying his office is considering all of our options to prevent any effort to intimidate voters or interfere with our elections. He joins us now. Thank you so much, Attorney General, for joining us this morning. I want to start right there. Are you worried, and how are you protecting the elections both in 2025 and 2026? And are you worried that some states may not have free and fair elections in this country?
Well, first of all, let me just say to all of the government workers and election workers and volunteers who are making sure that we do have free and fair elections in our state, I want to thank them. We're going to keep doing exactly what we do in New Jersey and what states do across this country every single year. Remember, the Constitution gives states the authority to administer their elections. This is a non-federal election. There is no federal office being elected in New Jersey this year, so it is highly unusual to send monitors into states under these circumstances. But we provide for free and fair elections constantly, and when there is a credible issue with our elections, we respond to it, as I have done. But there is simply no need for the type of saber rattling that we're seeing coming out of Washington with respect to voter fraud that we know they are using as a pretext.
So what do you think they're trying to do by saying they're going to send these election observers to your state?
Well, I can't say we know for sure, but we know that this is a president who has consistently undermined the basis of free and fair elections. This is a president who pardoned 1,500 people involved with the January 6th acts of insurrection as one of his first acts in office. So I certainly have some concerns when he sends monitors in an off-year election strictly to states that are run by one political party without a credible factual basis for doing so. Look, these monitors will have their right to do what every citizen in New Jersey has a right to do, which is participate in the election process and monitor with the appropriate legal safeguards. What they cannot do is intimidate people from voting, and we are certainly prepared should anything escalate to that point.
But Attorney General Platkin, I mean, as Eugene read in the intro, these monitors will be deployed in 5 heavily Latino counties across California and in New Jersey's Passaic County. So how, one, your response to that, because they're targeting specific people, and then 2, how do you have any plans to protect your citizens, the citizens of New Jersey, my home state, protect them from what could happen if they try to exercise their right to vote and ICE and whoever else swoops down and scoops them up?
No one is going to interfere with the right to vote in New Jersey. I don't care who you are. When I took office, I stood up the state's first voter protection initiative specifically to ensure that we were using all available tools within state authority to protect people's right to vote. And I've done that consistently throughout my time in office. And we will do that again if anyone, including the federal government, threatens to undermine people's confidence in the voting system or affect their ability to exercise their fundamental right. Now, I can't sit here and tell you today why they chose these counties. It obviously raises concern.
I think you can, sir. I think you can guess. I think you have an educated guess, but go ahead.
Look, my point is, it raises concerns about why they are picking certain counties in non-federal elections off year without a factual basis or a legitimate complaint that has been raised about concerns in those counties. So absolutely, as the chief law enforcement officer and the person insured or tasked with ensuring people can cast their right to vote, I have concerns. We are monitoring it closely. And if we need to, we will step in and protect people's right to vote, as we do every single year in our state.
Attorney General, are you working with the Secretary of State at all in trying to ensure that election administration officials, people who are going to be actually working the polls next year, are prepared to have the tools to ward against any nefarious actions and interventions and maybe interference by this administration? And what is your advice to, I guess, election administration officials across the country, really, who are all going to be dealing with this in the next few years?
Yeah, we have an extraordinary Secretary of State. She's also our Lieutenant Governor, who has been Secretary of State for 8 years. We work hand in hand on these efforts. We also work extremely closely with our Homeland Security Office to protect our right to vote from cyber attacks. Again, New Jersey has probably the most elections in the country. Every single year we have an election, state or federal, because we have off-year elections. So we're very used to doing this. My advice to the great volunteers, the thousands of people who make our election systems run, is keep doing your jobs. Thank you. And know that we have your back, that should anyone, I don't care who it is, whether, again, it's an individual, whether it's the federal government, steps in and tries to undermine your ability to do your jobs and undermines people's ability to cast their ballots, we will step in to protect them.
New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin, thank you very much for coming to The Weekend.